Okay, so let's unpack this. Mindfulness.
Yeah.
It's a word we hear all the time, right? It's really entered the mainstream.
It really has.
But what does the Mayo Clinic's, their rigorous clinical perspective actually reveal about its real depth? Maybe some surprising impacts we still overlook.
Yeah.
So our mission today, really, is to try and cut through some of that noise.
Yeah.
Dive deep into how you can genuinely live more fully right now in the moment. And we're using insights directly from, well, a very comprehensive clinically supported source. So the big question is, what is mindfulness really when you strip away the buzz? And maybe more importantly, how can we actually practically weave it into our lives for real results?
That's the perfect place to start. We're definitely going to try and demystify mindfulness today, move past just the, common ideas.
Right.
Our goal is really to equip you with a crystal clear definition, one that's clinically supported. And when we say clinically supported, that's important. It means these aren't just like stories people tell.
Not just anecdotes.
Exactly. These are insights that have been tested rigorously through scientific studies, often with control groups, measurable outcomes. It gives a really solid foundation for why they work.
Okay.
And we'll also cover the real research-backed benefits and, crucially, some actionable examples straight from the source material. So you walk away with not just info, but actual practical strategies.
That sets the stage perfectly. Let's get right into the heart of it then, drawing straight from that Mayo Clinic definition.
Okay.
So mindfulness, essentially, is a type of meditation. And the core of it is intensely focusing on what you're sensing and feeling right now in the moment. And here's what feels like the critical piece: doing it without interpretation or judgment.
That's key.
Yeah. It involves methods like focused breathing, guided imagery, other practices, all really designed meticulously to relax your body, relax your mind.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the aim is to dial down those stress levels.
And the beauty of that definition, I think, is how directly it tackles so many of the common mental hurdles we all face, daily.
Like what specifically?
Well, think about it. How much of our time, honestly, is spent caught in these loops? Planning, problem solving, just daydreaming, or maybe worse, just dwelling endlessly on negative stuff.
A lot, yeah.
Right. And that kind of constant mental chatter, it can be incredibly draining. And we know it's closely linked to increased stress, anxiety, even symptoms of depression.
Okay.
But what's really insightful here is how mindfulness isn't just like a Band-Aid. It's not just coping. It actually fosters a neurological shift.
A shift. How so?
By consciously choosing to direct your attention away from that relentless internal noise, you're quite literally training your brain, training it to decouple from those unhelpful thought patterns, which then allows you to genuinely engage with the world right in front of you.
Right.
And that critical part you mentioned, without interpretation or judgment. Think of it like watching clouds drift by. You notice their shapes, their movement, sure, but you don't start assigning stories to them or deciding if they're good clouds or bad clouds.
You just observe.
You just let them be. You observe. Exactly.
So that neurological shift idea. That sounds pretty profound, actually. So, okay, moving from the what to the why bother? The Mayo Clinic really drills down into the proven benefits, right?
They do. They lay out the evidence.
They highlight that meditation, well, it's been studied rigorously, tons of clinical trials, and the evidence strongly supports its effectiveness for like a whole range of conditions. We're talking real impacts on stress, anxiety, chronic pain, depression, insomnia, even high blood pressure, hypertension.
Which covers a lot of common struggles.
It really does.
Yeah.
And what's also fascinating is they mentioned there's even preliminary research suggesting potential benefits for people managing things like asthma and fibromyalgia.
And building on that, it kind of raises this important question about the wider ripple effect, doesn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, beyond those specific conditions they list, practicing meditation consistently also helps you just experience your own thoughts and emotions with maybe a greater sense of balance and acceptance, which is a huge cognitive shift in itself.
Balance and acceptance.
And think about other reported advantages, too. Things like improved attention, better focus, a noticeable decrease in job burnout, that deep exhaustion and cynicism from chronic work stress.
Oh, yeah. Definitely know that one.
Right. Plus, better sleep quality, and interestingly, even potentially improved diabetes control. It really speaks to how these practices contribute more holistically. It's not just about managing symptoms, it's about overall well-being.
Okay, so if the why is that compelling, let's get super practical. The how. The Mayo Clinic offers some incredibly accessible, really simple ways to just sort of sprinkle mindfulness into your day.
Yeah, make it easy.
Exactly. One powerful technique is simply pay attention. Just that. It's about slowing down, deliberately experiencing your surroundings with all your senses. Touch, sound, sight, smell, taste.
Using everything you've got.
Right. And they give this great, really relatable example. Eating a favorite food.
Ah, yes.
Instead of just wolfing it down, actually take the time. Really smell it, taste it, savor every little nuance. Another key idea is to live in the moment, intentionally bringing an open, accepting, discerning attention to, well, everything you do, finding joy in those simple pleasures we usually rush past.
Rediscovering the mundane almost.
Yeah. And crucially, accept yourself. Now, this isn't just about, being nice to yourself. It's more about dismantling that inner critic, that self-judgment that so often fuels anxiety and overthinking.
That constant commentary.
Exactly. When you treat yourself like you would a good friend, that unlocks a kind of fundamental acceptance. It lets you be truly present.
That's a powerful reframe.
And finally, for like an immediate mini reset button, focus on your breathing. If negative thoughts pop up or you feel overwhelmed, just sit down, take a deep breath, close your eyes maybe, and just focus on the feeling of your breath moving in and out of your body, even just for a minute. They say it could genuinely recalibrate you.
And one of the key insights there, I think, from the Mayo Clinic's perspective is how these aren't huge, intimidating commitments.
No, they sound quite small.
Exactly. They're actionable micro-interventions, things you can seamlessly weave into your routine, offering these little immediate shifts in awareness and maybe cognitive flexibility. They're like little anchors you can just drop throughout your day.
That's such a simple but, powerful way to think about it. Little anchors. I know I'm definitely guilty of rushing through meals, totally distracted.
We all are, probably.
I imagine really savoring that favorite food, like you said, noticing every flavor, texture. It'd be a completely different experience.
Absolutely.
But okay, for those who feel ready, maybe want to go a bit deeper, there are also more structured mindfulness exercises they outline.
Right, for more dedicated practice.
For instance, body scan meditation. You lie on your back, legs extended, arms at your sides, palms up usually.
Comfortable position.
Right. Then slowly, very deliberately, you focus your attention on each part of your body in order, maybe toe to head or head to toe, just being aware, noticing any sensations, emotions, or thoughts connected to that specific area. Without judgment, again.
Just noticing.
Just noticing. Then there's sitting meditation. You sit comfortably, good posture, straight back, feet flat on the floor, hands in your lap.
The classic pose, almost.
Kind of, yeah. And the main focus here is your breath. Just the physical sensation of it moving in and out through your nose. And if, physical feelings or thoughts interrupt, which they will,
Inevitably.
you just note them, acknowledge they're there, again, no judgment, and then gently guide your focus back to the breath.
Gently return.
And finally, walking meditation, which sounds interesting. Find a quiet spot, maybe 10 to 20 feet long, and you just walk slowly, really slowly, intentionally focusing on the actual experience of walking.
The sensation of it.
Yeah, the sensations of standing, the tiny shifts of weight, all the subtle movements that keep you balanced. When you get to the end, you just pause, turn around, and continue. Maintaining that focused awareness the whole time.
And the broader point here, I think, is how these structured practices offer a more focused, more intentional approach, really.
Right. A step up.
Yeah, they can absolutely be a natural next step if you're looking to build a more, let's say, disciplined or dedicated space for mindfulness in your life. They allow for a much deeper exploration of your inner states.
Okay, so that brings us to maybe the million-dollar question for a lot of people. When? And how often should we actually be doing these things?
Practicalities.
Exactly. Now, for those simple everyday exercises we talked about, first the paying attention, savoring food, breathing. The fantastic news is you can practice those pretty much anywhere, anytime. No special setup needed. And the Mayo Clinic even points out that some research suggests doing it outdoors, engaging your senses outside is particularly beneficial. Adds another layer of positive impact.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Nature connection.
Yeah. But what about the structured ones? The body scan, sitting, walking meditation.
Right. So this raises an important point about the setup needed for those. For practices like the body scan or sitting meditation, you really do need to set aside some dedicated time.
Okay.
And ideally, find a quiet place. somewhere you won't be constantly interrupted or distracted.
Makes sense.
A lot of people find it really profoundly helpful to practice these maybe early in the morning, before the day's chaos and demands fully kick in.
Get it done first thing.
Kind of sets the tone. And then for those long-term, really transformative benefits, consistency is absolutely key. The recommendation is generally to aim to practice mindfulness pretty much every day.
Every day. For how long?
For at least about 6 months is what the research often points to for establishing lasting change. But the interesting thing is, over time, for many people, it often becomes less of a chore.
It gets easier.
Yeah, it becomes more like an effortless, integrated commitment, a way of regularly reconnecting with yourself, nurturing yourself. It just becomes part of your routine.
Okay, so weaving it all together, what does this all mean for you, the listener? Our deep dive into mindfulness, really guided by these authoritative insights from the Mayo Clinic, it seems to show us that whether you engage through those simple everyday moments of just paying attention, or you decide to commit to more structured practices, mindfulness offers a really powerful pathway. And it's scientifically backed.
Right.
A path to more fully engage with the present moment and maybe significantly lighten those common burdens of, overthinking and that relentless feeling of stress.
And maybe just to leave you with a final thought to chew on, if mindfulness at its core is about cultivating this non-judgmental awareness. Consider this. How might consistently practicing it not only change what you sense and feel from moment to moment, but maybe fundamentally alter how you process and respond to that overwhelming, constant stream of information and experiences we all face every single day? Could it actually make you a more resilient, more adaptable person overall?